Okay, hold on. Offline. Okay, I think we're good. Hold on. I think we're back. Oh, okay. Wow, yeah, OBS just decided to just shut down on me. Thanks, OBS. Fantastic. Unfortunately, I think the VOD got, like, split up with that, unfortunately. How long was I gone for? Because I don't know if I was gone for that long, but... Jeez, okay. At least we're back. That's honestly all I care about. I think oh god, this is gonna be a pain to upload the VOD for. Oh well, okay. I'll worry about that later. But hey, the good thing is that we're back. That's all I care about, actually. So, all right. I don't know what was the last thing. What was the last thing we were? What was I talking about? Okay, I think maybe that's why it took a little bit to load this thing. Okay, so anyway, if I don't remember the last thing, I don't know what was the last thing you guys saw, but I was looking at this is the state census record for 1875, and I'm trying to find them in it. Where's Kerr? Here we go. That's them. William Kerr and William. England, Scotland. Machinist. ERW? Or ERM? A little hard to tell. Okay. There we go. Okay, so that tells us... Okay, so in 1875, they're living in Hornsville. Or Hornellsville. Which... Okay, so we now know then that they moved there sometime between 1870 and 1875. Because in 1870 they're living in Shinnecock. I hope I probably butchered that, and I'm sorry if I did. But okay, so where were we? So we did that. Census records, yeah, census records. Marriage records. Let's look at this real quick. This could be his marriage record, or... Okay, application for marriage license. William J. Kerr and Maud E. Bradley. That's them. Should probably is either by blood or marriage. None. Age of man, 24. Age of woman, 24. Residence of man, Olean, New York, which is right. Residence of Woodin, Bradford, Pennsylvania. Parents' name, man, William Kerr and Fanny Kerr. Frank W. Bradley and Elizabeth Bradley. Guardian's name. Let's see. Okay. Oh, and the thing... Thank you, Stream Elements, for letting me know a lot later that I'm live again. Oh, boy. Okay, so yeah, jeweler, yeah. So he's a jeweler at this point. Occupation of woman. None. Lives at home with parents. Not needed, not needed. Place of birth, Liverpool. Oh! Place of birth, Liverpool. Okay. Place of birth, woman. Okay, so he was born in Liverpool. According to this. Okay. Oh, and this also means we can do a... It's not a birth certificate. We found his baptism record, so it's not a birth certificate. But we did find a marriage certificate. Let's see. Unfortunately, his parents were mechanics, so I don't think we're gonna get farmer. I think this is gonna be a situation where we're gonna be close for a lot of these for this bingo, but I don't think we're gonna get it this time. Okay. So got the marriage. Hold on. That over there. I'm just moving around my tabs real quick because I got a lot of tabs. I always get a lot of tabs when I do this. Okay. Let's see. So we got that. Pennsylvania marriage registers. This is different than the actual marriage record. I don't think it's gonna give us any new information than like what's on the thing. King W.J. Kirk. Kerr, William J. Kerr, jeweler. William Mork, England. Married September 25th, 1889. Yep, already got that. Already got that. Yeah, there's nothing new in this record. Let's see. Got that. Is this birth certificate for one of his kids? Commonwealth of Pennsylvania birth certificate. Name of child Maud Primrose. Oh! So Primrose, their daughter, was also named... her first name was Maud. She was named after her mother. Full name, William Kerr. Residence, Smithport, PA. Birthplace, Liverpool, England. Housewife. Okay. Okay. So we got that. His birth. Okay, so now let's look at this. This is his death certificate, apparently. Yeah, here we go. Place of death, Warren County. Rural Conwango. Length of stay in this place 8 days. Warren State Hospital. Usual place of residence. McKean, Smithport. Okay, yeah. So he was still living there. William James, widowed. Usual occupation unknown. Kind of industry or business unknown. Huh. That's interesting that would be split like that, or that they wouldn't know. Coronary occlusions. Arteriosi. That. Coronary occlusion. So it looks like Other significant psychosis. Whoa, with cerebral art psychosis. Ooh, wow. He was not doing good, probably mentally then the last. He might have had like dementia or Alzheimer's, but maybe they didn't. When was that like given its official like thing? I don't know when that was like was like a specific thing. D. Hannah, St. Shirt funeral director. Address. Hold on, let me look up. I'm curious what those symptoms are. Okay, hold on. Obstruction of blood flow from a coronary artery. One of the arteries in your heart. Okay, yeah. So it's basically like a heart condition, like heart attack. Very similar to a heart attack. What's this other thing? The cerebral with. Let's see. Huh. Okay, hold on. Here's the thing here. National Institute of Health. Early onset psychosis are associated with an increased future risk of cardiovascular diseases. Huh. Hold on. When was dementia invented? Not like invented as in like it just like when did it become like a term? Okay, 1906. So it was a thing at that point. Was when Alzheimer's was like considered like a thing. So okay. So yeah, so it looks like he had possibly some. He obviously had heart problems, like a heart condition, and then also possibly some mental issues as well. Okay. Okay, so we have a death certificate, which means we can also mark that on our bingo. God, if he turns out to be a criminal. I doubt it at this point, but you never know. If he turns out to be a criminal, we have a high chance of getting a bingo. Okay. So we got that. Okay. And then, okay, there's this probates and wills. Is this just a register, or is this going to have actual like information? Where is it? Okay, Knapp. Kerr. William J. Kerr. Grace Kerr. Yeah, Grace is his daughter. Book. Okay, that's just saying where it is. It's just a register. It's not saying we don't actually have the will itself. Okay. The only other thing next that's listed here, I want to go to our Find a Grave. And let's see. Let's see what we got here. Look at that. Yeah, Liverpool. February 28th, 1866. Died June 14th, 1951. Buried in Rose Hill Cemetery, Smethport, McKean County. Birth bounce, marriage date. Okay, yeah, that's the information of his marriage date. Okay, yeah, look at this. Maud. So Maud died in 1909. And their kids. Oh, wow. Primrose only lived to be 30. Hester lived to be 90. Grace lived to be 96? Wow. They got their grandmother's genes, because their grandmother lived to be like in her 90s. Okay. And we do have this, which is an obituary. I think it's easier actually to read it. Hold on, in this version. Okay. William J. Kerr, 85, a retired Smithport inventor, manufacturer, jeweler, and motion picture theater operator. So he did have a theater. That was actually his. Because we have that here. The Kerr Theater. I was thinking like, okay, maybe it's like a different family member owned it and they just have like the same last name. But this is actually his. Wow. Okay. Died Thursday after a long illness. Mr. Kerr was born in England February 27th, 1866. He came to the United States with his parents when 5 years old. His wife, the former Maud E. Bradley, died in 1909. Wow, and he never remarried. He never remarried. Wow. Mr. Kerr lived in Bradford when first married. He later operated a jewelry store and was burgess in Mount Jewett. He ran a jewelry store in Smithport from 1903 to 1911 and a theater from 1911 to 1920. He invented and manufactured novelty toys for about 15 years. And this was one of them. We found one of them. So that means he probably has other patents. He has to have other patents. If he was like specifically like a toy inventor. Retiring from the toy business in 1935, he operated a citrus farm in the lower Rio Grande Valley of Texas, where he spent a number of winters. Okay, so he was just there for the winter. He was a member of St. Luke's Episcopal Church in Smithport. Mr. Kerr was a shrewd businessman, and being a hard worker himself, he had no patience with those who were slothful or idle. He had a keen sense of humor, although handicapped for many years by deafness. Wow, he lost his hearing. It was always a pleasure to listen to some of Mr. Kerr's reminiscences drawn from a fund of stories compiled during the 80 years of his active life. Survivors include 2 daughters, Mrs. Orville Halpenny and Miss Thomas Moulton of Smithport, 3 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren, and several nieces and nephews. Funeral services were held Saturday at 2:30 at the Lee Funeral Home. The Reverend E. Edward M. Phillipson, rector of the Emporium Episcopal Church, officiated in the absence of the Reverend A. B. Cope, rector of the St. Luke's Episcopal Church, Smithport. Pallbearers were Fred Herman, Elwyn Kelly, Oscar Anderson, Clarence Funk, Lloyd Kahn, and Robert Kerr. Interment was in the family plot in Rose Hill Cemetery. Yeah, and this is it. It's really hard to read. But Kerr, yeah, William J., Maud, and their daughter Primrose. Wow. Okay. Oh, that also means with that, we can mark off obituary. So if he was arrested at any point, we can get a bingo. If he just did some sort of crime, please, come on. Don't be too good of a person, man. You were a shrewd business. It said you were a shrewd businessman. Surely you did some maybe just give me fraud or something, something to work with. Okay. One other thing I want to look at, just to see, because I didn't see anything on Ancestry, and because of his how old he was at certain times, I don't know if he'd have a record. I don't know if he had a record for this, so I'm gonna go. Let's see. We're gonna go to fold 3 here, and we're gonna see. The only thing I can think of that he might have is a World War I draft card. That's the only thing I can think of. Everything else, yeah, because he'd be too old for World War II. Maybe the Spanish-American War, but there was nothing in his obituary either that said anything about, serving in the war. But let's just see. Maybe he has a draft card. William James Kerr. Let's do World War I. And he would be either Pennsylvania or New York. Jersey, Carolina, Tennessee. New York, Montana, New York. No, that's not the right. Maine. The year's not right. Well, let's just double check. Maybe that's a miss. No, that's not him. Yeah, that's not him. Let's see. Yeah, New York, New Jersey, North Carolina. That's the only one from Pennsylvania. Let's just look at the New York one. Yeah, none of those. Yeah, he would have been too old. Yeah. I wish on Fold 3, I don't think you can do it by birth year. You can't search by birth year, because that would make this a lot easier. Yeah, these guys aren't. let's just do New York. How many do we have? 20. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has any draft cards. Hold on. What is this? Kerr, William. Oh, no, that's not. That's not anything. Yeah. Let's change it. Change to Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania, no. No. Yeah. What if we just make it William Kerr? I feel like we're gonna get like way too many people. Yeah, 1,000. Change to World War One. I mean, almost all of these World War One cards have like a middle name or at least a middle initial. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna get anything with this one. Yeah, let's make it specifically the draft cards. Looking for specifically anything that is William J. Or just William Kerr. No. Birth year's not right for that one. No. No. Yeah, doesn't. Doesn't look like he has one. I don't know. He probably wasn't death at this point in his life. He might have gotten death when he was like older. Hold on. Let's change it to not Civil War. Spanish-American War? William M. Kerr. No. Okay. Yeah, nothing. Wow. No military records at all. Because I can't think of any other war that he would be involved with. Alright. Okay, so that didn't lead to anything. Let's see if we can find some houses, because we have a couple addresses for some of these. Not for all of them, because unfortunately he did live in kind of like more of the countryside in some places. Yeah, this one doesn't have a specific address. This one have a street? No. Does it say up here, maybe? Nope. Okay. Is this one? House number and order of visitation. No. Again, I think that makes you think, yeah, that at this point they're living like in the countryside. In 1910. Maine. Smithport. It just says Main Street, but not a specific house number. It's only number like of dwelling that they visited that day. Dang. Okay. Okay. We do have... Okay, here we go. Main Street. 223. Okay. We got something. Okay. 223. Main Street. Store could be west. Let's look at this one. Okay. Okay, what if we change the west? That's a business. They could have lived upstairs, but it is possible they could have lived upstairs above it, but I think it's more likely... Oop. It's more likely that this is the house. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Is there a number? Oh no, wait, that says 215. Hold on. Is that just like the closest? Yeah, because it goes from 215 to 300. Okay, so unfortunately that's not it, possibly. I don't know why I put it there. Well, I guess because it's closest. Were there other... Okay, that's 1920. 1930... No, he's living in the countryside on a state road, which again is not helpful at all. Bank Street? 12 Bank Street. Let's see. 12 Bank Street. Oh? Is that actually 12? It is actually 12. That looks like it. And that looks like a house that would be around in 1930? Was it the 1930 census? No, 1940. Yeah, that's definitely at least a 1940 house. Definitely older, actually. No, that could be like a late 1800s house, possibly, based on like the styling of like the porch and stuff. Okay, that's it. Yeah, 12. Look at that. We got a house. So we want... let's see. House still exists. We got one house. Again, if... Well, he's not single. We know he's not single. He is widowed and divorced, but he wasn't, like, single either. Well, technically he was single at the time that he invented the patent, but he was widowed. I only do the single one if it's, like, they literally, like, were not married or never were married beforehand. either when they invented it or afterwards. Like because sometimes some of these inventors stay single their whole lives. Let's see. What other do we have the 19? Oh, we have the 1940, 1950. Okay. Okay, this is Bank Street going west from Nelson Street. 12. Okay, so same house. Okay. So we got one house that still exists. His daughter's house when he was living there when he was older does still exist. There's one other thing I want to pull up just to see. I'm gonna pull it up here real quick. I want to see if there is a Sanborn map for Smethport. I doubt it, but you never know. There is. Wow. Okay. Wow, there's a few of them actually. Okay, let me pull this up real quick. If you have not seen me use one of these before, these are what are called Sanborn maps. They are fire insurance maps that were made from like the late 1800s through like I think the latest I've seen them is like the 1950s. And basically what they are like super detailed maps of like every building in a city for fire insurance purposes. So that way you knew like what type of building it was and like where it was located and everything. And they are super cool and super important historically because they have so much information on them. And sometimes they would make them every year. Like this one is from 1903, 1909. Hey, Cat. Is it okay if I call you Cass? Cause Casvelen, Casvalen. I'm sorry. Is Cass? Can I call you Cass? Because that's a lot easier for me to remember. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, Okay, good, thank you. But yes, no, I love looking at Sanborn maps. They are so cool. But let's see. So that one address that we had. They were living there in Main Street, 223. They were living there in 1920. Let's see. Oh, you're a genealogist too, Cass. That's awesome. Yeah, no, they are super helpful. But not just for like genealogy, but like also like historical preservation and like archaeology wise. Because I have a little bit of an archaeology background, and they're super helpful in terms of like figuring out like, oh, where was an outhouse located, or where was a stable located on like behind a house, something like that, or when was this addition added to a building, like stuff like a wing or something like that. Yeah, but no, that's awesome that you're a genealogist too. I might ask you for help on some things because I would consider myself more of a amateur genealogist at this point. But let's see. Oh, your graduate degree is in public history. Okay. Yeah, I almost went for I thought about going for a public history degree for my grad school. Ended up not doing it. Ended up going with museum studies instead. But yeah, I had a few friends who did public history in school. So it looks like the latest one that we have is this 1909 one. It's not that many pictures. It's only 6 pictures. I mean, it makes sense. Sanborn doesn't look like it was that. Hey, thank you for stopping by, Pirate. Have a good night. You know, yeah, you... Honestly, when I was in the UK, it impressed me when I was there because I realized how late you stay up to watch these, and that makes me honestly appreciate it even more. The fact that you stay up so late. But hey, have a good night, man. Take care. Let's see. I almost did museum studies as a second master's, but I went with library science instead. Honestly, that is... You made the smart decision. Hey, Wayward Bard, thank you for lurking. Enjoy lurking on stream. Honestly, Cass, you made the right decision. Because now I'm thinking about going possibly for a second master's with library science. Because I feel like the library science has a larger job pool than the museum studies ones. And a lot of people who end up working museums actually don't have museum studies degrees. They have library science degrees. So, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Libraries are where the jobs are, you know, way better than the museum job market right now. So, like, I always, at this point, I would recommend, like, if somebody is considering, like, what type of degree to go for, I would highly recommend, like, if they had to choose between, like, museum studies or library science, I would go with library science or archival science. Okay, so let's see. What streets do we have here? Oh, we don't have that many. Look at that. Hold on. Where is... Water... Okay, Main Street. Courthouse... Okay, Main Street, King... Holmes. Where is that? Hold on. Where is 223 West? Okay, that was here. Okay, Church Street, Holmes Street. Okay. Oh, wait, no, it's the east one that we want. Pine Street. Where does it? How far does it go? Oh, we might just barely have it. Oh my god, we might just barely have it. Okay. Wow, okay, so picture 4. Let's see. Pine, okay. Where's Maine? Okay, that's Maine. Patio. Is that it? Hold on. No, wait, no, 220. Hold on. Well, what they say, that's what they say 223 Main is, but... Hold on. No, 223... Oh! Okay. Is that it? That might be it. Wait, what street is this? Mechanic. Hold on, actually, wait a second. We had a city directory, didn't we? Jeweler, Maine. Oh no, that's in Bradford. This is in Bradford. Not in small. Well, we'll look that up in a second, see if that still possibly exists. So I think that might be it right there. Because that's D for dwelling. Next, let's see. DG. fruit. Is that GR? Is that an A? For garage, furniture store, dry goods, clothes, something B&S stands for something. Gasoline tank. So this is it right here. So they've definitely probably like renumbered things. Oh, no, wait. Hold on. I think I might be looking at the wrong number. No, 223. I am. That is right. Okay. 223. So let's look for mechanic. Hold on. Hill Street, Mechanic Street. Okay. Oh. Hold on. $127. Wait, yeah, that's 127. It's close, kind of, to like the number. But is that the... Is that the house? Like, right there, built into... Hold on. It's a little hard to tell from here. Is there a... Okay, there is something in the alley. I think that might be... Hold on. That might be it. That might be it. Because it's roughly... It's roughly the same. Yeah, because there's like a little alleyway here between like those buildings. This building is this building. At the time, there was like nothing else here. Just this house and like a... Looks like some other... It looks like DG is probably dry goods and fruit. So maybe like a dry goods and like a... But maybe more like a stand, maybe? But this does say, okay, one right here. That normally means one floor, right? Huh. And this is the latest one that we have, 1909. That's the latest one that we have for this town. But I think that's it. 223. Main Street. Yeah. Okay. So... Let's go ahead then and mark... I feel confident enough to mark Sanborn map on that one. Yeah. It is an odd street arrangement. Yeah, I was thinking, like, it's weird that the house would be, like, yeah, that far from the street and in, like, a businessy area. But just looking at the shape of it and, like, how it's lined up, I'm pretty sure that's it. it looks like they've definitely like expanded on it and everything over the years, but I'm pretty sure that's this right here. I feel pretty confident. Okay, now let's see if we can find that one that's in the city directory, because this is the only city directory record we have for him. This is when he was a jeweler. I mean, he was living in Bradford. So 170 mechanic. Okay, so 170 mechanic. Right. Bradford, PA. Yeah, it's too weird that there was like two in that exact same setup or arranged that way. Okay, well, so there is a mechanic street. There is a mechanic street in Bradford, but it changes. Let's see. Oh, that they have School Street and Bank Street. Is School Street that uncommon? Because, like, my town that I grew up in, one of the towns I grew up in, I remember had a School Street. Bank Street, I don't think I've seen, but School Street. Mechanic Street, honestly, is, like, more unique, I feel like. I've never seen Mechanic Street, and there's two of them in this area. Well, where did... Hold on. Okay, where was the other thing... Main Street, corner of Kennedy. So where's Main Street? Bank Street, State Street, South Washington. Where's Main Street? Here we go, Main Street. And where's Kennedy? Kennedy Street. Okay, so Main at the corner of Kennedy. So it was one of the, I'm guessing, I mean, that building, that's a, okay, this is a modern building right here, or more modern compared to, what year was that city directory? Wasn't it the 20s? No, 1893. So it's more likely, I think, that this is it. That looks like something from... Is there like a year on like the top? Sometimes they do that. On the door. No, there's no year. But it has a name. Alright. Okay, so let's go back to the Sanborn maps real quick. Bradford. Oh, whoops, no, not Brandford. Bradford. Okay, Bradford, specifically Pennsylvania. Okay, there's a lot. We know they were there in 1893. Do they have... Okay, 1897. 1892. Okay, they don't have 1893, but they have 1892. So I'll take that. You're right. Yeah, that is very 1890s, like, commercial architecture. It's that, yeah, that kind of, like, late Victorian style, you know? Yeah, that one definitely, yeah, it fits more into that time period. Let's see. So let's go, okay, let's look at the 1892 one. And what part of town is this? Okay, that's the river. Oh god, how do they... It's not... Which way's north? Wait, that's north? If that's the river... What part of the river is that? Is it this part? It's probably this part. We want, like, the downtown... Hold on. Let's make it so that it's just the 1892 ones. That's Bradford. Oh, wait, no, that's Bradford County, Pennsylvania. That's not Bradford, Pennsylvania. That's Bradford County. Hold on. Okay, McKean County. That's what we want. There we go. Okay. So we have 1890. We have 1890 and 1895. Let's do 18... let's do 1890. Or wait, no. We know in 1890 he wasn't living, right? Because in 1890... When did he get married? He got married... Let's see. What year was this? 1889. September of 1889. Okay, so they could have been living there by then. Have you ever used fire insurance maps online? It's a subscription database, but it lets you put it in a modern street address and it overlays the Sanborn bias maps over the modern... No, I haven't used that. That's... Depending on how much the subscription is, that's actually really cool and really helpful. I've only used the Library of Congress digitized versions of these maps. But that's actually really, really good to know. I will make note of that. I mean, I don't know if I would pay for it, but it definitely sounds like a great tool. Let's do 1895. I don't know what it costs. I use it at a library. Okay, but it's very cool. Yeah, no, that sounds really cool. It was such a rude awakening when I left, like, I graduated from grad school and, like, over the course of, like, a few months after, lost access to all the databases that I had access to for free. It was such a rude awakening of, like, just how unfortunately so much information is behind paywalls. Let's see. Where is... Okay, there's Maine. Okay, Maine and Kennedy. Ooh, wow, okay, so it's split between 4 and 7. Oh yeah, JSTOR. Such a... I miss JSTOR too. So, just having easy access to, like, academic papers and articles and stuff like that. Just all that stuff you get easy access to in school. I mean, you could... I think most libraries probably have JSTOR access. If I think, like... I feel like that's one of those because I know there's a... trying to think. Like, I know the local library near me like gives you access to Ancestry for free, but you have to go to one of their libraries. You can't do it from home. Although JSTOR lets you create a free account and read 100 articles per month. Oh, I didn't know that. That's good to know. I thought it was just completely inaccessible. That's actually good, and I don't think I'll be reading 100 articles a month, but that's actually really good to know research-wise. Thank you. Okay, so let's go to page 7 first. Is this right? Oh, it's turn. Okay. 85, 87. Okay, drugstore. Commissary. This one, okay, here, this says jewelry. This says jewelry. It's not exactly on the corner, but it's close. Okay, well, let's look at 4 real quick. Okay, okay, there's Maine. There's the other side of Kennedy. Oh, no. Look at that. A jewelry store. Wow, there were 2 jewelry stores like literally down the street from each other. Like 5 stores over. There was another jewelry store in a small town. That's some tough competition. But that's probably it. Look at that. This is, what year is this? 95, so 2 years later, yeah. So it's likely he was still living at least nearby. Okay. But yeah, that's probably it. I love that the maps also do tell you like what type of like store these all are. I just think that's so interesting. Like just seeing all these different buildings and seeing like, you know, like meat, like a butcher, groceries, dry goods, tailor, Chinese laundry, sewing machines, harnesses, barber. That's probably office, bakery, like whole candy, like stuff like that. I just think is so cool and so interesting. Okay. But yeah, so that's probably it. Let's see if we can find his house. Let's go back to the first page and see where Mechanic... Because I think I saw Mechanic as like one of the main streets on here. Yes, it is. Okay. Let's look at 3 and see what that side is number-wise. Because we're looking for... 170 is the number we're looking for. Okay, 56. Okay. So the numbers are getting smaller this way. That's 18. 17 the next one we want to go to? Let's see. You're right. You're right, Cass. We do need more wholesale candy shops. That's something I miss. Okay, this is really far up. mechanic. Hold on, let's go back to page 1. Let's get 4, maybe? Yeah, the numbers get bigger the further south you go. So maybe he's actually... Hold on. Maybe he's actually down here. Let's try 5. Oop. Producers, Public Square... Okay, 157, 163, okay. Let's go to 13. It looks like according to that. Let's see. Okay, mechanic. Hold on. 167, 172. Is that it? What is with this guy and buying houses far away from the street? Because that's... Okay, that's Elm. Yeah, I mean, that has to be it, because that's 172 and what's 168? Okay, this is Elm. Is that it? Or is that... Wood Avenue? I think that's it. It kind of does with all the trees. Because it's like... Yeah, it's like that's the... Whoa. Yeah, that's the staircase to go like up to it. Yeah, like a house on top of a hill. Yeah, that's the fence that looks like goes all the way around it. I think that's it. Yeah, it's definitely a nope, I would say. Oh, speaking of haunted, I'll say it here because actually that's kind of a good little segue. With it being officially the 1st of October and the start of spooky season, I'm gonna be doing later this month. I don't know when exactly, but probably like in the last like half of October, I'm gonna do some streams, something that I did last year. One of my first ever streams that I did on Twitch when I came back, because I streamed like last year was kind of like last month was my stream anniversary, where it was my 1-year stream anniversary, but in end of August. But it was one of those situations where I streamed once in August and then didn't stream again for like 2.5 months until October. And one of the first streams I did in October back then was actually a reading old newspaper stream where specifically I read old newspapers looking for old ghost stories. And now that we're back like a year later, I want to do it again. Because that was back when I had like 0 viewers and like nobody was watching like at all. And I want to do it again, where I'm going to try and use newspapers.com to look to see if I can find newspaper articles that talk about like ghost stories or like things that happen, like haunted things that happened in places. So yeah, so we'll see. Oh yeah, old newspapers are yeah. I love reading through old newspapers because you never know what you're gonna find with those. Speaking of which, let's because I think we've I think we found everything that we're gonna find here. Let's go ahead and let's move on to newspapers here. Okay. Let me pull up newspapers.com. We got an ad starting soon, so yeah, I'll get that all set up and then I'll start searching once the ad's over. Okay. Let's see. Newspapers. Okay. So, here we go. Let me go ahead and get myself a drink. So, let's start. So we know, okay, he lived in New York and in Pennsylvania. He didn't live in that many different places, so it's good that we have like kind of like a small area to work with. I'm gonna start with William James Kerr. Oh, gotta put quotes. All right. We'll start. Okay, he came in 1870, so let's just start. I mean, I doubt we'll get anything, but let's just start 18. Oh, not 19. 1870 to 1890. And let's just do. What county? Hold on. What county was it that he lived in? In like during this time. So he lived in Steuben County. Okay, so we'll look for ones that are specifically in that county or in that area. Okay, we only got 15 matches, and let's sort by oldest first. Let's see. This one looks like... Nope, it's just a weird thing where they're like kind of nearby each other, so that's not that. And this one, that's the same article. That's the same article. That's the same article. Same article. Same article. Same article. Oh my god, is it all the same article? Is all of it the same article? It's all the same article. Wow, look at that. Okay. Okay. So then if that's that case... We know he does... Or let's try... Okay, let's try William J. Okay, there are these ones from... Okay, that's from New York, New York. We know he wasn't... Or, well, 1870. What's happening in this article? Members of the dinner community... Okay, no. He was like 4. He's not part of a dinner community when he's 4. Rochester? He was living in Albany, I think, at the time. Okay, he's not going to be a proprietor. He would be like 8 in this one. How many episodes do we have? 28 or 29. Okay, so not that many. It's none of those. Leases recorded. No, he's only like 13. And he wasn't living in New York at this time. What about this one? Partial defeat. Case of Mary F. Kerr. Carter Brandreth House. Okay, no, that's not. That's not them. So that's what all these articles are like. They're about. They're about this event. That looks like it's just those two words are right near each other. That's Brooklyn. 1883, he'd be a teenager. Where is this one? Eastern Hotel. Oh! Hold on. Eastern Hotel Late Arrivals. William James Kerr. Or no, Hornsville. L. James Silo, William J. Kerr. That's him. He was living in Hornellsville. Sorry, not Hornsville. Hornellsville. Because that's where he was living. In 1880. Hornellsville. That's him. Look at that. He was at the Eastern Hotel in, where is this? Dunkirk, New York. Wow. Look at that. That's our first, so far, our first earliest record of him. 1883. So... it was running 101 Vanderbilt Avenue. Okay, no, this is New York, New York. He wasn't living there at this time. New York, New York, New York, New York. Oh, wait. Olean. Hold on. Here we go. Olean is where he lived. Invitation cards have been issued for the marriage of Mr. William J. Kerr to Miss Maud E. Bradley of Bradford, Wednesday evening, September 25th, at the home of the bride. There we go. So this is another thing about their marriage. Let's see. What about this one? Policeman William J. Kerr of the West 37th Street Station. Oh, wait, no. That's New York. New York, New York. That's not what we're looking for. Yeah. But look at that. Okay, what if... okay, so... What county... Okay, what if I just make it... Okay, if I make it William Kerr, it's just gonna be like... There's gonna be like a million things, I feel like. Yeah, 623. Okay, what county is Olean, New York in? Cattaraugus. Okay. So, with that, let's see. Okay, here we go. 4. Okay. Okay, it's June of 1889. What's this one? First prize design is by William Kerr of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Oh. Nope, that is... That's not him. Dang it. Okay, that's the one we already got, the September 12th, yeah. James William Kerr left for New York City Tuesday, whence they will sail for 6 months. For a 6 month visit to their old home in Scotland. Oh, that's his father. That's his father, William Kerr. Because he's from Scotland. Okay, that's who that is. And is this just announcing the same thing in a different... One of the passengers on the steamship... Oh, this is on the steamship they were on. Among the passengers on the steamship Furnessa from New York to Glasgow, Scotland, Saturday afternoon, were Mr. and Mrs. William Kerr of this city. Okay. Okay, so we got that. What was the county that Hornellsville is in? Steuben? Okay. Hold on. No. Steuben. Looks like it's the same thing. Yeah, William Kerr and his wife, Oline, sailed for Glasgow. Okay. So it's just the same thing. Okay. Let me change it back to that, and let's change it to McKean County, Pennsylvania. It's one of those things that, honestly, because it is such a small, like, county, that... Oh, whoops, no, I want to make Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, Erie. Well, they got married. Hold on. Culture, James Kerr. No, it's none of those. That's interesting that there's nothing... J. Kerr. Okay, there's a lot more. What are the counties that are... Let me look at the Pennsylvania county map. What are the counties that are around McKean County? Just look. See, it's here. Nothing. I think it's such a rural area that, like, I don't know if it might not have that. It might not have that many newspapers. Yeah. Which isn't good for what we're doing. Yeah, and I think if I just make it William Kerr. Yeah, 1,000 matches. Wow, exactly? Jeez. Like, no, none of those. York, Crawford, no. No. Washington. Pennsylvania has a lot of counties, so it's... Berks, Blair, Lawrence, Jefferson, Union, no. No. Northumberland, Lycoming, no. Tioga. Bradford County? Oh, no, that's right, no. Bradford is not in Bradford County. we realized. It's nowhere near it. Montgomery County, Lake County, Huntington, Greene, Clarion, no. Westmoreland, Snipe. Yeah, nothing. All of those counties, the name William Kerr did not bring up anything. Wow. Yeah, honestly, it's crazy that, like, that there's nothing. That whole area. It might be, yes, they might have had a local newspaper, but because it is so local, it hasn't been digitized. I'm sure if maybe you go to, like, the local, like, county, the County Historical Society, they probably have, like, booklets of, the giant books of, like, the local newspaper all put together in, like, volumes. But then you have to search through each individual one to try and find something. Because we know there is a here. Yeah, or on microfilm, yeah. Definitely. Because there is this, which looks like it's scanned from something. This looks like something that somebody cut out of, like, a for like a scrapbook or something. But there's no date, unfortunately. There's no date, and there's no, like, newspaper information of, like, which newspaper this came from. So I'm gonna look up Maud, because Maud is more unique and a lot. Maud. I'll look specifically Maud E. Bradley. Maud E. Is it Bradley with an EY or just a Y? EY. Okay. Let's try Pennsylvania first. Nothing. Okay, what about New York? Let's just try Maud Bradley. Maud Brownling. Successful entertainment gives William... Maud Bradley as Miss Garfield was a decadent success. Okay, this is a play of somebody named Maud Bradley. I don't think this is it, because hold on. Because what was she... It didn't say anything about... Yeah, it just says she's one of the accomplished young ladies. Okay. Okay. That's not... Yeah, that's not it. Wow, it's crazy that there's, like, barely anything on... Okay, well, let's change it. Let's go 1891 to 1900. I mean, that isn't New York, New York. A couple in Erie. Then again, she wouldn't be Maud Bradley anymore. She'd be... Yeah, she'd be, William J. Kerr. Hold on. We didn't try that one. Because that is actually what... Let's do 1890... Or no, 1889. Because that's when they got married. No. Okay, let's try Pennsylvania. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. York, Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh. Keystone Board of Pardons. Pardons recommended. Clarion County. Clarion County. Where's that one? Okay, it's not really that close. They're not from there. I'm sorry, he was living in New York at this time, and he wasn't arrested. Okay. Yeah. I think they might have lived in such a rural area that, like... Okay. So let's go back to William... Whoops. Hold on. Not William. William James. Let's just go back to doing 1891 to 1900. Let's just do 10-year increments. Okay, that's just James Kerr. James Kerr, which we know isn't right. James Kerr. Wow, yeah, it's all the same. It's all James Kerr, but like... Yeah, it's like stuff like that, where it's like William is nearby and it counts it, but it's not exactly... It's not exactly what we're looking for. So let's try 1901 to 1910. No. Nope. Nothing. And we're looking at all of Pennsylvania. We're not just looking at... Wait, hold on. Let me change to New York. Buffalo, no. William J. James, no. Brooklyn, no. Nope. Dang. That's the problem when... It's the opposite problem that we had last time on Sunday. Whereas, like, on Sunday, we had it where it was such a large, like, because he was in New Orleans, the guy we were researching was from New Orleans, that there was so much stuff and so many people with the same name that we couldn't figure out who he was. Now we're having the opposite problem where this is such a rural area that he's coming from that there's nothing digitally available from that place here. Let's see. Hold on, wait, I forgot to do... Let me just do, like, 1900. Oh, wait, no. 1891 to 1910 for New York. Just to see... That, maybe? No. That is not it. Nope. 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 Yeah, and that's all the same stuff we already saw. So let's go 1911 to 1920. Let's see. William Jane, no. Is that it? Nope. We're getting some stuff that's like kind of upstate New York area, but again, he's not, well, he's not really living there at this point. He's not living in Brooklyn. Let's try William J. Kerr. Oh boy. Show map. Kings County. Hold on, where? Because in the obituary that we found for him, Kerr lived in Bladford when he first married. Not Jewett. Married Jewish in Smithport and a theater. New business. No, okay. Well, the 1920s in Smithport. 1930, he is in New York. So he could be back in New York again. In Genesee. So maybe we'll get stuff more on like his later life. What county was that again? Hold on. Allegheny, okay. Yeah, there's nothing. Okay, what's this one? College presidents. Okay, no, that's not him. It's not there. Is this Ulster County one? Kerr Davis. Lisbon, New York. No, not. Or, well, wait. Leslie. Was Leslie a sibling? Hold on. Henry William Tom. No. Okay, so not related to him. Dang, yeah, we are not finding anything. Okay, and I feel like if we just go William Kerr, it's gonna be so many. Oh, that's okay. We're still in Ulster County. Hold on. Yeah. Erie King Tompkins. No. Okay. That's... Where was Oline located again? Yeah, Cataract. Okay, that is this one. Okay, no, that says William E. Carr. On this. Dang. Okay. Well, yeah, he's also living. I think we said he was living in Pennsylvania at this point. So let's change it to Pennsylvania. Ooh, that's a lot. Allegheny, Chester. That's not any of the counties that are nearby. No, also not any of the counties. Let's see. It's also none of the counties. No. Dang, it's getting honestly kind of crazy that we really can't find anything. Crawford, no. Westmoreland. Wait, Warren. It might be Warren. Warren is one of the nearby counties. Warren F. Kerr. Hold on. From Kettleville Sunday evening, and Glenn went to Mister's to see. No, not. I don't think that's him. I think this is the same story. There's Uni William Kerr of Kelvin. No, not. Yeah. Okay. Let's get back from. Oh, McKean County. Oh, come on. William S. Kerr. And William A. Kerr. Yeah, it's from somebody in Pittsburgh. Dang. Okay. Thought we were close there for a second. Yeah, none of those. Otter County is one of them that's nearby. William T. Kerr. Nope. Okay, so let's try William. I mean, I feel like it would come up, which is William Kerr. Philadelphia, Lawrence Adams, no. No, nothing. Okay. Let's try James. Okay. Allegheny, Lancaster, Newark. None of those are nearby counties. Okay. 1920 or 21. 1930. Let's see. Not Pittsburgh. Yeah. Hold on. Just want to double check something. Kerr. William James Renwick Kerr, the only son of William. Okay, no. Yeah. It's all just that one person who died. Let's try William J. Kerr again. Oh, okay. We have some McKean County. Okay, it looks like it's deeds. Alice Furman to William J. Kerr. Smithport. $1. One whole dollar. So we got one whole dollar in 1927 from Alice Furman. Okay. And a few months later, he had to give that dollar to Eldred Electric Company. Okay. Is that the same one? Oh yeah, that's like a better version of it. Hold on. Yeah, that's a better version of it. So that's it. Just him passing around $1. That's all we got for him from this time. Okay, that's McKean County. No. One of the, I'll just add, hold on. In the same parentheses, I'll add patent, just in case, because this is when he started doing patents. Oh god, what the heck? Ooh, it is freaking out for some reason. Hold on. There we go. What is this? Registered notices, no. Let's see. I'm trying to look for anything here that looks like... anything that talks about, like, patents. Oh, William J. Kerr of Chicago. Nope. Not our guy. Nothing. God, come on. Give me something to work with here. No. Okay, Warren and Potter County. Oh, what is this? Hold on. The newspaper and magazine business formerly owned by the Fairlight Drug Store and handled by G.W. Calhoun has been purchased by William Kerr, who took possession today. Mr. Kerr is a hustler and will undoubtedly make a success of his undertaking. The location of the disposal of the newspapers and magazines will remain at the Fairlight Drug Store as formerly, and the same efficient service will be given. Port Alleghenians wish Mr. Kerr success. Is that him? Interesting items gathered in Potter in nearby counties. Okay. That could be him. That could be him. But it's hard to say specifically. Okay, let's see what this Warren County one is. Mr. and Mrs. William J. Kerr of Youngsville. That's not him because he never remarried. And his wife was dead at this point. Ooh. If we just get rid of the patent. Oh, there's gonna be so many. Let's see. No. Okay, McKean County 10. Let's see. This might be him. Oh. Here we go. Sanford L. Fry and Ralph Herzog are the backers of a new concern in Smithport, which has been organized and will begin the manufacture of novelty toys in the near future. William Kerr of Ceres, New York, is the inventor of the toys and a member of the concern, which is to be known as the Marvel Specialty Company. That's it. So was he living in New York at the time, or was he living in Smithport? Because it says he's living in Ceres? I'm assuming that's how you pronounce that? Okay. But hey, no, but that has to, is the inventor of toys. That has to be him. Unless there's another William Kerr that also invents toys, living in the same area. Okay, hold on. The Porky Scribe. Maybe it's, well, actually, wait, hold on. The thing here, his obituary that we have here. Lived in Bradford when he first married. He later operated a jewelry store and was burgess of Mount Jewett. He ran a jewelry store in Smithport from 1903 to 1911 and a theater from 1911 to 1920. He invented and manufactured novelty toys for about 15 years. Because the 1920 census... ...1920, he was still living in Smithport. Yeah, so he must have... Because it says here, 1920, this is when he starts the manufacture of toys. And this is in January of 1920, so he must have just started at that point. Where was the one we just... Okay, with the Porky Scribe, Porky, Pennsylvania. Mr. and Mrs. William... Okay, that's not them because he wasn't married. Oh, this is the one I think we already saw. Yeah, those are the deeds that we already saw. William Kerr, Minneapolis. No, it's not him. William Kerr, Minnesota. William Kerr, Minnesota. William H. Kerr. William W. Kerr. Okay, so that's not him. But we do have... What actually is cool is that with this one, we do have a name of the company that apparently he made toys for. Marvel Specialty Company. Okay, hold on. Let's just see. Let's try the Warren County ones just to see. Mrs. William Kerr, no. So anything that has a Mrs. William Kerr, we know it's not him because it's a different William J. Kerr because his wife was gone at that point. And William Kerr, Minneapolis. Okay, no. William Kerr, Minneapolis. William Kerr of Kettleville with his team spent... Okay, no, that's not him. Okay. I think during this time is when he moved to New York. So... don't see... Because that county that Genesee, New York is in... Oh, it's in Genesee County. Right? Because that's where... What says it was here? Yeah, Genesee. County. Allegheny. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. It's not... It's a big county, but there's, like, nothing there. Allegheny County in New York. Okay. But there's no Allegheny County. We know he lived in... this county. At one point. Oh, hold on. Olean. Hold on. William Kerr of the Marvel Company of Smithport, Pennsylvania, spending the day with his brother, George Kerr. Okay, so he was going in this area during that time. Okay. George Kerr on Tuesday in Smithport. Visit his brother, William Kerr. Okay, so they're his brother, like they're visiting each other. Person was William Kerr of... No, okay. No, we don't know if that's the right one. Let's see. William Kerr spending relatives in Cleveland, Ohio. Wait, this one we know is him. William Kerr was over from Smithport over the weekend. So yeah, so he's visiting. William Kerr of Bradford was a visitor. Yeah, so he's visiting a lot, and that's saying he's living in Bradford. And these are all just ones saying that he was a visitor. What's this one? Jim Kerr and Arthur Howard are spending 2 weeks in the Adirondack Mountains. Let's see, Linker of West State Street. Okay, yeah, no, that's not. Hold on. Mr. Muslim William Kerr of Du Bois moved to the city. Oh, great. Now we have another William Kerr living in the town. Great. So I think I'm only going to be able to, like, really tell if it's him. Hold on. William Kerr of Smithport, Harry Kerr of Du Bois, and George Kerr of Nebraska spent Saturday with their mother. Okay. So... Okay, so his mother is still living here. So that's why they're still doing this. Let's see. Came to eat Thanksgiving turkey with his mother. Okay, here we go. William Kerr came home to eat Thanksgiving turkey with his mother, Miss Fanny Kerr. Okay, so that's definitely him. What about Western newspapers? Did the obit say something about living in Arizona or New Mexico? The only thing it said was... No, he mostly stayed in this area his whole life. The only thing it says... where is it? Okay, yeah, he lived in, like, this area around, like, New York and Pennsylvania. Retiring from the toy business in 1935, he operated a citrus farm in the lower Rio Grande Valley of Texas, where he spent a number of winters. So he's not living there full time, according to that, but he's living there during the winters. And we don't have any details of where that citrus farm was. We just know it's lower Rio Grande Valley, which is like it's Texas. That's a very wide area. There's nothing specific of like a town or something like that or a ranch name or something like that, which would actually help us with that. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. That's like most of the state. Yeah, so there's unfortunately not much to go off of. And if he was only spending winters there, who knows how much information there going to be about him there. Let's see. Mr. and Mrs. Kerr left. Is he just visiting town this weekend in this one? Okay, yeah. Was social harassment weekend with his mother. Okay. Yeah, he's visiting his mother a lot, which is good. It's great to see that he's visiting his mother. Hold on. Curious. William Kerr of this village is spending the week in New York on business. Not really sure if that is him. Oh wait, here we go. Hold on. This might be him. William Kerr of this village and Harry Kerr of Du Bois, Pennsylvania, are in Buffalo on business. Harry is one of his brothers. We know that. Or is it Henry? Is it Harry or Henry? Hold on. Where was this thing here? Oh. No, that's Henry. That might not be him. Is him just visiting again? Yeah. Oh, and that's his daughter, Miss Primrose Kerr. Let's see. It's mostly him just visiting his mother. Let's see. Marriage to William Kerr of Watertown, New York. Okay, no, that's not him. What is this? 4 rounds in Caddies Tournament. 4 matches were played in the second round of the first night of the Caddies Tournament, Country Club Monday. William Kerr defeated again, it's not enough to know which is that's actually him. That's William M. Kurt. Mr. and Mrs. William Kerr. No, that's not them. Mrs. William Kerr. What's this one? Nope, that's William Kerr, Minneapolis. What's this? Counting sheep in Georgian port. Okay, no, it's not him. It's Georgian poetry. William J. Kerr purchased the jewelry stock of SF. Okay. Echoes of the Past. Oh, wait, Echoes of the Past. So these are old articles. April 23rd, 1889. William J. Kerr purchased the jewelry stock of F.S. Moore of this city. That's probably when he... Okay, that's when he had his jewelry store in the city. Look at that. Okay. Let's see. That's kind of cool that we have like a reference to an older thing. Mr. and Mrs. William Kerr, Mr. and Mrs. William Kerr. Oh wait. Hold on. Echoes of the Past. Mr. and Mrs. William Kerr set sail at Oh, this is just this is a retelling of those same articles that we saw that we found earlier. It's the same thing, but it's in like an Echoes of the Past, like, so they're like talking about it again, and we found it both times. That's actually kind of funny. What's this one? William Kerr, 40 Madison Avenue, Olean. Applications for enrollment in air school. I don't think that's not him. He wasn't living in Olean at the time. Let's see. Okay, that's it for that. Okay. It's a good thing we did that. We looked at that county. And then J. I love those because sometimes the original paper hasn't been... Yeah, exactly. That's how we... Yeah, that one was the jewelry stock one, which was this one. Oh, hold on. Let's get rid of the county thing. Erie County... King County... No. Oh, whoops. Nope, that is not what I meant to do. Yeah. This thing's for Mr. Oh, what's this? Genesee. William J. Kerr. What is this? Supreme Court to open. Allegheny County. To be convened at Belmont. Okay. Trial jurors. Okay, so he's a juror. Juryman drawn to serve at the coming term of court. Okay, so he had to serve on a jury. Okay. Allegheny County, that's the one that, yeah, he's from. It's from June that next year. Hold on. Cemetery Association elects. Red Creek. Suffolk Cemetery. No, I don't think that's him. Dr. William J. Kerr, no. Yeah, that's Buffalo. Buffalo's in Erie County. Yeah, those are the ones that we already... Hold on. Wait, what about this one? Oh. Conduct funeral of Miss Fanny Kerr, so his mother. Funeral for Miss Fanny Eddie Kerr was held from Howig's Funeral Parlors Tuesday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Reverend A.H. Nicholson, pastor of the First Presbyterian Church, officiated. Burial was in the Protestant Cemetery in Allegheny. The pallbearers were her 4 sons, the Reverend Thomas Kerr, Harry Kerr, George Kerr, and William Kerr. Relatives and friends present from out of town were Reverend Thomas Kerr, Oxford, Pennsylvania, William J. Kerr, Smithport, Pennsylvania, Harry S. Kerr, Du Bois, Pennsylvania, Miss Fanny Kerr, series, Mr. and Mrs. Yeah, okay. Just listing more people. Okay. So yeah, so that's when his mother passed away. And let's just do one more search for William James Kerr. Get rid of that. James Kerr. Okay. Let's change it from 1931 to 1940. Sheldon, no. James Kerr, no. What's this one? Nope. Nope. Okay, so nothing there. What about William J? Erie County, Kings County, Monroe County. Okay. Minneapolis. Dr. William, yeah, okay, of Minneapolis, so that's not, that is not him. Let's just do William Kerr, looking specifically Let's see. Okay, Chatteragus. That's one of the ones that we want. Let's see. William C. Kerr. By William Kerr. Tributes played on Franklin's 229th birthday by William Kerr, Philadelphia. Okay, well. That's, yeah, that's, I don't think that's him. Dr. William J. Kerr. What's this one? Helen Kerr is to be married to Howard Frisbee. So we're brother and sister of the bride. Wait, Helen, is that one of his sisters? I don't remember. Hold on. No. I thought one of his daughters was Helen. No. Hester. Primrose. Grace. Okay, I don't think that's him then. Okay. Minnesota. That's the other guy. Oh wait, hold on. What's this one? Going to place on Saturday, Miss Ruth Horton became bride of James Kerr at grandparents' home. Daughter of Claude Hunt and William Kerr, son of Mr. and Mrs. James Kerr. Okay, yeah, no, that's not them. Daniel. Let's see. Let's see. Mrs. Jean Kerr to honor guest. Okay, yeah, no. That's referring to a Miss William Kerr, so that's not them. Okay. Nothing there. Let's now change it to Pennsylvania. Let's see. Do we have any McKean? Okay, here we go. McKean County. William N. Kerr. Okay, William J. Kerr. William J. Kerr. $1. He's trading dollars again. Okay, he's doing business at least. Dr. William Kerr. Dr. William Kerr. Charles William Kerr. Mrs. William Kerr. What's this? Former Kane girl married at Smithport. Miss to William G. Kerr. Nope. Great, there's a William G. Kerr now living here. Hold on, what's this one? 2 men injured. One seriously. When a taxi cab ran into Pennsylvania filler number 57 yesterday morning at Olean, the driver, William Kerr, received severe cuts on his head. And was held at Olean General Hospital for treatment. James Archibald, passenger, was discharged from the hospital after minor head injuries were dressed. Not enough information to prove that that's him. Oh yeah, well yeah, it's a taxi cab, and he's not a taxi driver, so it's probably not him. Hold on. Announced marriage. Helen Agnes Kerr, daughter Mr. and Mrs. J.M. Kerr. Okay, yeah, no. Not him. Is another dollar exchange? No, that's Daniel William Kerr. Let's see, Flag Day. William Kerr was a preferred business visitor. Again, not enough to... There's too many William Kerrs now that, like, we need, like, specific... Oh, hold on. What is this? In a paragraph. Whoa, hold on. What is this? 1940. In a paragraph. William J. Kerr is being held by police at Corey on an open charge in connection with a kidnap scare where he allegedly called the Carlo Perot home and threatened abduction of the infant twins of Mr. and Mrs. Perot unless $30 was taken to an East Main Street address. Kerr's call left Miss Perot in a nervous state and she called police. Chief of Police John D. Langan arrested Kerr later and conferred with state police relative to action against the man who is said to have figured in several scraps here lately. Is this our guy? Kane Republican, Kane, Pennsylvania. Where's Kane? Where's Kane? Okay, yeah, it's like right. Not that far. But is that our guy? What are you doing? What are you doing, William? Am I actually gonna have to mark the criminal thing? Shoot, I had it and then I lost it. Here it is. I'm sorry. Yeah, this is it. Is that him? Because it's William J. Kerr. He's being held by police at Corey. Is Corey nearby? Oops. Okay, Corey's over here. That's further away. God. It's... Is that him? Because why would he be held at Corey? Because he wasn't living in Corey at the time. In 1940. The only thing that kind of makes me think it might be him is that according to his death record, his death certificate, he did apparently suffer from psychosis later in his life. Now, this is almost 11 years before he died. I don't know how quickly the psychosis set in. That's the only thing I can think of that, like, would make me think it's him. And that was in May of 1940. And again, because it's specifically William... It's William J. Kerr. Uh, Let's see. I was just reading something the other day. Cerebral artery. I'm not even gonna try that word. Was an old word for dementia. Okay, which can be often be accompanied by psychosis. Okay, I was wondering if that was because I looked it up. I looked up specifically psychosis and that word, cerebral, blah blah blah. And I couldn't find anything that specifically said anything about dementia or Alzheimer's. But that would make sense. I was kind of thinking that maybe it was like some form of like dementia, but in the back of my head, but I was 100% sure. But if that's true, then yeah, that would make sense. Let's see. Bedford. Let's just real quick at Potter, real quick. William G. and William Kerr. Okay, nope, not him. Okay. Let's again get rid of that. And let's make it specifically William J. Kerr. Wait. No, it's not. Warren is. The Dr. William J. one again. Okay, let's do James this time. Nope. This one. Okay. Nope. Be in the draft. He was too old. So that's not him. And that's in a different part of Pennsylvania. Okay. Now let's do 1941 to 1951. Because 51 is when he died. Nope. Okay. Nope, that's neither of those is him. Let's try J. Nope, he was not serving in the war. It's Doctor. That's Doctor. All Doctor. William T. 66. Hold on. Let's... Keene County. Looks like we finally got some... Let's look at this real quick. Sister of Smith Man dies in Olean. Miss Fanny P. Kerr, 72. Okay, that's his sister, Fanny. Surviving her 2 brothers, yeah. And several nieces and nephews. Okay, yeah. Let's see. What's this one? Smithport Council adopts tentative budget of 40,000. Council President, Electric, Parks and Playgrounds. Chairman, William J. Kerr. Sanitation. Is that him? Yeah, I mean, he's in Smithport Council. But he would have been pretty old at that point. That could be him. What's this one? Body's air conditioning responsible for colds. Nope, that's the doctor. What's this one? Colonel George Kerr, former Olin alderman, dies. That's his brother. Veteran of the Spanish-American War. So his brother was a veteran. A well-known figure in public and fraternal life here died last night at the Veterans Administration Hospital at Bath. He had been a patient there since last February. Colonel Kerr served during during 1948-1949 as alderman for the 4th Ward, declining to seek re-election to the Common Council because of his health. He had long been associated with the oil-producing industry, both in this county and in South America. He retired several years ago. Colonel Kerr was a life member of the Olean Lodge 232 F and AM and the Olean Lodge 491 BPOE. He also held memberships at the Muhammad Shrine in the Blooming, Illinois, seeing the local post Spanish American. Surviving is a brother, William J. Kerr, Smithport. If all he has is a brother, that might explain why maybe there's not as much stuff for William... Or, well, no, William J. Kerr had 3 daughters, so there's at least family in that sense. But But if none of his sister didn't have any kids, it turns out his brother didn't have any kids. He might have been the only person, and he had 3 daughters, so the Kerr name didn't continue. One of his other siblings might have had kids. It's this one. Project life of Al Jolson. Dr. William J. Kerr. Nope, not him. Okay, hold on. I think this... Okay, yeah. Here he is. Former Mount Jewett Burgess dies at 85. William J. Kerr, 85. Former Burgess of Mount Jewett died at Smithport yesterday. He was well known as an inventor of novelty toys. M. Kerr was born in England, February 27, 1866. He came to the United States with his parents when he was 5 years old. His wife, the former Maud E. Bradley, died in 1910. Oh, this is the same thing that's in the other one. Mr. Kerr retired from the toy business in 1935 and operated a citrus tree farm in Texas for several years. He was a member of St. Luke's Episcopal Church, Smithport. Survivors include 2 daughters, 3 grandchildren, 2 great-grandchildren, several nieces and nephews. Okay. Okay, he had nieces and nephews, so that means some of his siblings had kids. Huh. Let's see. Is this just the same thing? That's the same thing. Yeah, same thing again. Funeral in Smithport today for W.J. Kerr. Smithport, funeral services for W.J. Kerr, William J. Kerr, former Smithport toy manufacturer, will be held today at 2:30 p.m. The Reverend Edward M. Phillipson, rector of the Emporium Episcopal Church, will officiate. Burial will be in Rose Hill Cemetery. Okay. So yeah, we found him. I have a feeling if it's just William Kerr. William M. Kerr, William Key Kerr. Yeah, there's too many William A. Kerr. Mrs. William Kerr. Miss William Kerr. I feel like there's too many William Kerrs now to like really, without like serious research to figure out like which one is which when there's not a middle name present. I mean, we know again, in any of the misses, we know it's not them. Yeah, survivors are 2. Okay, that's talking about, that's one of the thing. That's one of the I think that article we saw about someone like him threatening kidnapping, I'm pretty sure that was not our guy. Because there's nothing about it anywhere else, and it just so out of nowhere. Honestly. And there's like no follow-up. There's no mention of it like anywhere else. Yeah. I know. If it was him, we would have a bingo. But it's like, it's just so out of nowhere, and like, it just makes, I feel like it makes no sense. And also it just says he was being held by police. Hold on, Corey. What county is Corey in? Okay, it's an Erie. Oh, it's an Erie County. Erie County is where, yeah, that's kind of a little bit further away. Yeah, I don't think it's him. Plus, he would have been, yeah, he would have been pretty old by then. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Let's see. Okay, when was that? 1940. Let's just, okay, William, we know they specifically call him William J. Kerr. Let's do 1940. And specifically Erie County, Pennsylvania. Okay, that's crazy. That it doesn't show up in Erie County, Pennsylvania. But it shows up because Corey is located in Erie County in Pennsylvania. And that one doesn't have it at all. Oh my god, I just looked at the time. Oh my god, I just realized how late it was. Oh no. Oh no. If you weren't here at the start of the stream, I said like, oh, I don't think we're going to go longer than like, I'm going to try and end a little bit early because I have some stuff I need to do tonight to get ready for like the next few days because I have some stuff I need to do. And it's 10:20. Oh no, I need to stop. I think we're at a good stopping point though. We did find a lot. We narrowed it down. We did find some good. It took a while, but we did eventually find some newspaper stuff on him. And I mean, think about it. We started with just this. Okay, actually, no. There is one thing. There's one thing I want to search. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. It was like Marvel Specialty. Let's go 1920, Pennsylvania. Oh, shoot. What was it called? Which I have so many things open. Okay, of the Marvel Company. They call it the Marvel Company there. Okay, here we go. Marvel Specialty Company. When was this one? 1921. Did I spell it right? Okay, that's just 1920, that's why. 1935. One more thing. It's never just one more thing in geology. I know, but I gotta know. Okay, hold on. Look at this. Okay, this is the one that we already saw. That's the article we already saw, but then... Hold on, there's this ad. Orient pomade. Aids nature to grow hair, prevents dandruff and stops falling hair, massage chilling to scalp. Marvel Specialties Company. Huh, that might be them? But look at this, there are ads. Wanted. Girls. Pleasant work, short hours, good pay. Call at Herald office between 9 and 10 a.m. Saturday. FJ Zyron. Huh. But then, yeah. This one right here, though. Help wanted. Boy over 16 years old wanted for work in manufacture of toys. Apply at shop back of Masser's hardware store. Huh. Okay, so we got that. Oh, what's this one? Marvel Specialty Company. Scottdale, Capital 25 Purpose, Manufacturer Sell Automobiles, Bottle. Okay, there's two Marvel Specialty Companies, because look, FJ Zyron, Scottsdale. Okay, there's two different Marvel Specialty Companies. That's what this one is. So that's not his. Probably same with this one. What's this? Hold on, what does this say? Two large tile buildings on Fulton Street in the rear of the post office building, which housed the big printing plant of the Boys magazine, were sold to S.L. Fry, R.W. Herzog, and W.G. Kerr, composing the Marvel Specialty Company on their bid of $2,850. It is understood the new owners will move their factory for the manufacture of toy magnets into the buildings, which will provide a model manufacturing plant and will permit expansion of the company's flourishing business. The printing machinery and equipment of the buildings contained property to blah, blah, blah. Okay. See? It's a good thing we didn't stop. That's a huge thing. Like, for manufacturers specifically of toy magnets, which is what this is. Look at that. It's one thing to say that they were toys, but to specifically say magnets. So see, it's good that we did one more thing. I think this is just the same thing. Yeah, okay. Oh, wait. Okay. Oh, wait, what is this? Orville something injures 2 fingers amputated. Orville Halpenny, who was employed at the Marvel Specialty Factory on Fulton Street, lost 2 fingers from his left hand Monday afternoon when he caught it in a press which he was operating. Oh no. I don't know if they got workman's comp back then. The young man received first aid treatment from Dr. Berg Chadwick, who sent him to the Bradford Hospital where amputation of the second and third finger was necessary. Didn't Hester Kerr marry a Halpenny? Hold on. That's his... You're right. That's his son-in-law. That's his son-in-law. Oh my god, that's crazy that you remembered that. That didn't even register for me. That's his son-in-law's fingers that got... I mean, apparently there were no hard feelings because in 1940, like a decade and a half later, he's living with them, so... Yeah, Orville Halpenny. Wait, when did they get... What if they met because he was working at the factory? Because this is 1940. 1927... He would have been like in his early 20s. If he's 38 in 1940, he would have been like 25, 24, 25, depending on when they got married. Oh, that's crazy. That is crazy. Yeah, he must not have been that upset. No hard feelings. Uh, oh god, wait, what is this? Etta Axelton smashes thumb in press at the Marvel Specialty Fact. God dang it, this is like a year later. Etta Axelson, who is employed by the Marvel Specialty Company in its plant on Fulton Street, was injured Monday when her thumb was caught in the stamping machine she was operating, breaking the bone and inflicting serious cuts. Dr. Robert Hamilton treated her the wounded member. God, this place was not safe. Okay, hold on. What's this one? Miss Laura Clark was accepted something. I'm guessing position with a Marvel Specialty Company. Yeah, it's someone they definitely needed a visit from OSHA at that point. Toy plant very busy. The plant of the Marvel Specialty Company, Smethport Toy Manufacturers, is a busy place these days. The workforce has been doubled, and it is understood that more help will be employed. The company recently received a large shipment of material. Okay, so they're doing good. Well, hold on. This is May of 1928. Hold on. Okay, well, we'll see how they're doing in about a year when the Great Depression starts. Okay, this is a few months later. Steals shoes and try to get motors. Seaport has trouble with thieves working during the nighttime. Hold on. Not satisfied with looting the Anderson and Carlson shoe store last Saturday night, attempts were also made to steal 2 automobiles. Orville Halpenny, who is employed until late in the evening at the Marvel Specialty Plant, found on entering his garage that the transmission lock on his Buick sedan had been broken. An attempt had been made to start the car. Dang, he cannot catch... Poor Orville. He can't catch a break. First he loses some fingers, and now... now he has this problem? Jeez. Okay. Let's see, hold on, what is this? Salesman. Experience sell nationally known line bird cages and lamps to department furniture, warehouse, low commission salesman earnings yearly. Marvel Specialty Co. Chicago. Okay, no, that's not him. Hold on, wait, how many? Okay, 18. So we're getting near the end. Okay, yeah. There's only 2 more. Literally only 2 more. This is actually probably the last one. Charter notice. Notice is hereby given that the application will be made to the governor of the state of Pennsylvania on Thursday, the 1st day of October, 1931, under the Act of Assembly of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, entitled An Act to Provide the Incorporation and Regulation of Certain Corporations, approved April 29th, 1874, and with the supplements thereto by R.W. Herzog, W.E. Kerr, and W.O. Halpenny, for the charter of an intended corporation to be called Marvel Specialty Company, the character and object of which is manufacturing, trading, and buying and selling toys and novelties, and for these purposes to have, possess, and enjoy all the rights, benefits, and privileges of said Act of Assembly and its supplements. Gallop and Potter, solicitors. Okay, so it's just a... So it's just they're incorporating the company, it sounds like. Okay. And yeah, that's not what we're looking for. Okay. Wow. I'm happy. I'm glad we didn't end. I'm glad I searched one more thing. But I am actually going to stop here now. But God, that's so cool that we found that, like, at the end there. Finding out more about his business, and that it was specifically making toy magnets at one point, which is what we got right here. This is where we started. Creepy gingerbread magnet. And yeah, that's where we started, and we ended up finding interesting stories about problems at the factory, him accidentally hurting, causing permanent body damage to his son-in-law. And was likely not did not kidnap anybody. It seems like, and wasn't actually a criminal. I don't think there's any more last minute things here we can add to the genealogy bingo. Yeah, farmer, newspaper record, no newspaper birth certificate, single criminal, no grave. The patent wasn't in the newspaper, unfortunately. And we don't have any proof that he had more than one patent. We know he invented toys, so it's likely he had more than one patent, but we have no, we weren't able to find any actual other patents in reference in, newspapers and stuff. So, I think that we got so close in several spots for a bingo. If only he actually did kidnap somebody, then we would have gotten a bingo. All right. But let's go ahead. Like I said, I'm gonna call it here, and let's go ahead and go back to our office. All right. Wow, it is actually almost an hour later than I than I wanted to stay up doing this, but you know what? It was worth it. We had a little hiccup also, partway through, where OBS decided to just explode and shut down on me, but thankfully we fixed that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for being here tonight. This was fun. This was a good one. We found some good and interesting stuff. But yeah, so if you are new here, I'm not a professor, but you can call me Nap. I do streams like this every Sunday and Wednesday officially at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but sometimes I do little guerrilla streams where I stream, at random times whenever I have free time. And if that's something you're interested in, I recommend you go ahead and follow, so that way you know when I go live next. We are, let's see, what was the other thing? I might do a guerrilla stream this weekend. Other than our one on Saturday, I'm not 100% sure. And if we are going to do a guerrilla stream, I'm actually going to be playing the game 2 Point Museum, which is a game that I've been playing a lot. I played it a lot before I went on my vacation, and of trying to kind of 100% a museum. I'm creating my own museum called Smithsonian 2. And just kind of making it as big as possible, like the actual Smithsonian. But then Sunday, our Sunday stream will definitely be another research stream. So, let's see. I think that's what we're gonna call it there. And if you want to check out some links down below, I do have a YouTube channel where I upload some shorts on some of the stuff we found on previous streams that I definitely recommend if you want to check those out. And yeah, Let's see now. Let's see who is available to raid. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna go ahead. We're gonna raid. Let's see. We're gonna go ahead and raid Kazu. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and raid Kazu. We haven't raided her in a long time. She's been in here a lot. She was actually one of my first like kind of like followers. And she's been really awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and raid her. All right, let's go ahead and start that raid. All right, and let me get a raid message going. Hold on. I always feel like pressure whenever stream ends and like to get the raid message out because so that's going to be the subscriber one and then okay, and then there we go. That's the follower one. But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for being here. Hope you have a great rest of your evening or day wherever you are. And I will see you guys possibly this weekend before stream on Sunday, but we'll see. But I'll definitely see you on Sunday. So hope to see you guys there. All right. Have a good night, everybody. Take care.